This week in home gym reviews, we've got not one, but two brand new drops from Titan Fitness, an upcoming release from Rep Fitness, and I've got a bone to pick with Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. The No Fake channel, checking in. Jonathan here, and today we are going to quickly review the week in the home gym community. So many of you are grinding out in your home gyms all by your lonesome, but there's a bigger, larger community, and we're going to explore it. First off is going to be Titan Fitness. They are probably one of the bigger budget companies out there. Unfortunately, they've got some piss poor marketing. I will tell you that they released not one but two brand new products, and frankly they didn't do much marketing or hype behind them whatsoever. It was almost like a secret release. I didn't even know they were live until I had to double check. One of Titan Fitness's beloved pieces of equipment that many people swear by, myself included, is their multi-grip cambered bar. And this thing has been a stellar standout for quite a while. It still has a home in my basement gym because frankly the price point and it works. Well, they improved it without telling anyone that it was coming. They absolutely improved it. What did they do to it? Well, let's look at some of the specs. So one of the problems with the original version, unfortunately, is that when you try to re-rack it, oftentimes you would clip one of your uprights because the clearance was so tight. And what they did is they shaved off at least an inch on each side of this side, and they tapered the edges. So this should be, at least in theory, so much easier to rack without clipping your sides, without banging up your rack, and without damaging your multi-grip bar. Also, that's right, there's more. They actually added center lines on the handles. Now these handles are fairly wide, so oftentimes when you were throwing your hands on them, you really had to adjust to make sure that your hands were aligned where you wanted them. By adding that center line across the middle, you'll know right where the center is and how you're going to want to line up your, frankly, line up your hands. Also, they added a little bit more. Again, at first glance, it doesn't look like they did anything, but some of these changes are impactful. The last one, and probably the least in terms of importance, is going to be the nameplate. Supposedly, the finish on here is even better than the original. Now, price point is, as of now, $218. I picked this thing up. You don't have to tell me in the comments below that I should review it. I already picked it up. I capitalized this 5% off with the 5% coupon code I was able to find online. I'll put links in the description to all this stuff if you're interested. So I was able to pick this up for $220 because I had to pay tax. Of course, the shipping is free. Now, the other release from Titan Fitness that is in line with this one is their multi-grip barbell version 3. Now, this is the same thing. People love this bar to improve their bench with regards to taking the stress off their shoulders and wrists, and this one was another beloved one, and they did the same exact thing as the previous multi-grip bar that we talked about. They actually entered this center line for the handles, so you know right where your hands are, and they tapered the end on here so that when you're racking and unracking this thing, you're not going to smash up your uprights, or at least you shouldn't. At $180, this thing is priced right, and we're probably going to see it go on sale for Black Friday or Cyber Monday. If you're a fan of multi-grip bars, you should be picking up one of these. I happen to be a big fan of the camber, of the drop, of that 2-inch drop between the top and the bottom. That really, for me, helps me get a longer range of motion. But if you don't care about the range of motion and you're looking to basically mimic a bench press without injuring your shoulders or putting unnecessary strain, then you might want to go with the other version that you see here and save yourself some money. The other Titan release that they hinted at that isn't out just yet, but supposedly in November it's going to drop, is their open trap bar. Now, Rep Fitness already put out an open trap bar with great success, at least from what I've heard and from my experience with the one that I'm still reviewing in my basement. But we all want to see what Titan Fitness is going to do. They've been pretty quiet this year, all things considered, at least compared to some of the other companies out there. Speaking of new releases, just dropped today, Rep Fitness's newest AB 3000 2.0, and it is coming in at $319. And frankly, it looks like an improvement. I know a lot of people love that decline option when it comes to their workouts. They want that decline option. They need it. They demand it, and this one has it. So I'm considering It's on my list of maybes in terms of picking this up to see if it should be reviewed. If you want a review on this one, please let me know in the comments below. This literally just dropped today while I am making this video because I checked the website earlier and it was still considered pending. So I'm gonna have to get on the horn and see if the credit card is gonna clear. Obviously, if you don't need decline on your bench, if you don't, not a decline person, this might not be right for you. This might not be the one to get, but I know a lot of people love those decline bench presses. They love the decline sit-ups and decline flies. So maybe this one is one to consider. And today's prices, $319 is not a lot of money, unfortunately, for a bench. And of course, you got some of these fantastic colors to boot. And we all love garage gym reviews. We love Coop because he says it straight from the heart. And frankly, he has some really good content. But this week, unfortunately, I just have to honestly disagree with him. I know he had good intentions, but his video, I think, was just downright wrong. He made a video, Rogue Fitness on a budget. That is the biggest oxymoron ever. Trying to go rogue and trying to go on a budget. To me, and again, I know he made some good points, and I'm sure he picked some good equipment for the price. To me, on this thing, it's like going to a really great restaurant and only ordering like soup because you can't afford anything else. I think you got to go the opposite. I think if you're going to go rogue, you get exactly what you want. You break the bank because you're getting 100% what you want down to the wire. I think going cheap on something like Rogue is only going to make you a little bit disappointed, and eventually you're going to want to sell it and get what you really wanted once you have the money. So either save up the money and go all in, full hog wild on this thing, or maybe think of some budget options until you do have the money to go rogue. And now, obviously, no knock on Rogue, they make great stuff, but I think if you try to go in the lower end of their equipment, you're honestly going to just wish you hadn't. Another great video that came out this week that many of you may have missed was an interview with yours truly. I went over to Luke from LMZ Fitness's page and we did an interview. It was fun to kind of take over his channel and completely just dominate the conversation. I don't think I let him get one or two words in edgewise, but we had a really good time, and I made him put in some timestamps on here so you know that if you want to just skip around, you can go down here to the timestamps and boom, go to just different questions and don't have to watch the whole hour and 20 minutes. But man, oh man, it was fire for the whole time we were there, and I made sure that there was no downtime, that we just kept this thing moving right along. I'll put a link to this in the description if you are interested in checking out the full listing, but again, you can't just skip around on the timestamps. Next up is what I've got going on in November. We've got the Chad 1000 Veterans Day Hero Workout in honor of Chad Wilkinson, a Navy SEAL active duty who took his own life, unfortunately, and this workout not only honors his memory, but also honors our nation's veterans, which have an excessively high amount of suicide for many reasons. Oftentimes it is because of a lot of the stressors that are faced under battle. Just a little bit of backstory. Chad Wilkinson, his wife, dedicated his body to research. And even though he was not wounded significantly in battle during his years of service, his brain did have some massive damage to it, similar to tons and tons of concussions from all of the trauma of training and kicking indoors and all the other crazy stuff that I can only imagine goes along with being a veteran. There are multiple ways to take on this workout. Last year, if you've been following along, I took it on the standard. I did a 30-pound rucksack. I think I did a 20-pound rucksack. I did the women's version, which was extremely difficult. I did the 20-pound rucksack and with a 20-inch step up. This year, I am going all in. We're going hog wild. We're going to do 45 pounds. I got these special plates from weighted-out.us. These are American-made plates. I got 4 of these things that I'm going to slap in so that I get a 45-pound vest on minimum. I think the vest actually is going to be 46 pounds because the vest itself is 2 pounds in weight, and we're going to get after it. So that's my upcoming workout, and I have been trying to train for that workout and trying to prepare my body and my mind to do 1,000 of these step-ups. that is the quick weekend review for this Dad's Home Gym. If you are interested in more home gym weekly reviews for the community at large, let me know in the comments below, and also shout out any smaller channels that maybe I'm not aware of, but I should be giving a little bit of love to, because there's so much great content out there, and there's so many great people in this community. I'm always curious what I'm missing and what I need to highlight. If you came this far in the video, you and I are best friends. Apple pie and ice cream, peanut butter and jelly. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.